whatever you want. I think while we are waiting for another minute or two, we'll make use of this time.
Yes, sir. May I speak, sir?
So those of you who are not talking, kindly put it on mute, team, so that the session won't be interrupted. So we'll give just one more minute and then we'll start slowly so that.
Yeah, sure, Sai.
Hey, hi.
Meanwhile, if anybody would like to talk, feel free, team.
I think Manish is trying to talk. Hello, Manish. How are
Manish.
you?
I got two separate trends.
Buddy Manish, go ahead, buddy. So Dhanu, you think you can give one? We'll give one more minute.
Yeah, sounds good, Sai. Usually I do around 9:04, 9:05, but again, you can go as per your plan.
Yeah, I think 2-3 minutes, our Indian standard time.
Absolutely.
Which has been there for tradition for thousands of years, which we can change overnight. No offense. So somebody wants to talk, please feel free, team. I know Manish, you try to talk. You have your own control. So if you would mute and say your name and how long you've been doing trading or investing, and if you would like to speak 1 minute quickly, your experiences or your challenges, perhaps. So in the meanwhile, other ThinkSabians probably, excuse me, would join. That'll be a perfect timing. Anybody would like to talk? Quick intro, your experiences. We'll wait 1 more minute before we start our thoughts. What do we wanted to convey tonight? So then at 9:05 we'll sharply start our meeting. Okay?
Yeah.
And then the rest of the people might slowly join. I'll be fine.
I think Naga is trying to talk, unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, Naga, please.
No, sorry. I forgot to mute the mic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been in the group for quite a while, but not actively participating in the trading.
Mm-hmm.
Today's session would give me some broad overview, like how to use your system.
Absolutely. That is the whole intent of this sessions. We wanted everyone to be aware where we are. Okay, so it's 9:05. I think we waited 5 minutes for everyone to join and settle down. I think that's quite good time. So we'll go ahead and start off. And I will be, I want to introduce myself, that my name is Sairam Yeruva. I'm actually the founder and CEO of ThinkSabio. And we have Dhanunjay already here, our product expert and, the hero of ThinkSabio as well. And I will be doing a little introduction and then I'll handing off to him and he'll go over the product features and, for 1 hour. These sessions are intended to not to go too long to bore you up or whatever. So we want to do it like an hour strictly, kind of, and then do it more frequently in a week, like 3 times or 2 times, or something like that. We want to start off. So to go back, it's been a while that we started these sessions. I know we did many in 2020, 21, 22, but after that there was a long gap, and I really apologize for the gap that it took for so many reasons. But nevertheless, we wanted to start off again, starting from today, and we wanted to continuously engage the ThinkSabians and share the knowledge, and see what we can learn collectively. It's a collective enlightenment. Bottom line is, as you all know, I think I gave my introduction long ago. I'll also quickly wrap it up. But one thing I can tell you all for sure, I started this stock market 2018. That's where the finding of ThinkSabio came into the place. Although I came in 99 to US, I did investing without knowing anything, and I lost money. And then I said, no, this is not for me. And I kept quiet until 2018. 2018, I told everybody that I read in an article in CNBC that top 10 hedge funds made tons of money. So when I read that article, I was ignited. What these people are doing, they're making hourly thousands of dollars. Hey, what is this? What is going on here that I'm missing? So that actually started me back to think. And then when I researched that article, it was found out that they're all investing in stock market. Then I said, okay, well, previously I didn't know and I invested, I lost. Maybe if I follow these smart people, and if I, follow their methods, I may succeed. That's how ThinkSabio was born. So one thing I can tell you for sure, for the last 4 years, like I started 2018 investing with this method until now, it has been a very good experience. I have failed and I have succeeded. Just like Michael Jordan, I like his quote. I missed 9,000 shots. I lost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to, take the winning shot, but I failed. I failed over and over. So similar to that example, I have seen a method here, and I have succeeded, and I have failed, and I have succeeded. So I will go over all that later point of time. Right now, I don't want to go too deep, but I wanted to give a very detailed session of how I succeeded, where I failed, how I got back. All those will be a very different session and very detailed. I promise I'll be brutally transparent, showing my real screen, real website, my portfolio. There will be a lot of learning session, and our team is working to showcase since 2018 how my journey started, how I failed. Failed has, what reasons influenced me to fail and how I got back the control. One thing I can tell you with the brutal honesty that there is a method in ThinkSabio. There is a method. Just like, you go to the college and you learn a method, right? How to solve a mathematical problem or statistics problem or whatever it is. So in ThinkSabio, what we are trying to do in one line is we are trying to follow the smart money. The smart money is nothing but people or institutions who have invested their millions and billions of dollars, and we are trying to follow them to model after their success, right? That is what we're trying to do. Of course, there are challenges because there are so many institutions, there are so many successful people, there are so many they are investing every day. The next challenging question is, how do I know where to invest? Or how do I stay long enough or short enough? Or how do I manage all this? That is really a challenging. I wouldn't say that I'm an expert either. I'm also learning every single day. But over a period of time, we will know if this particular student writes an examination if you recollect your college days, right? There will be a topper. If the topper is usually be topping their examination. So if you copy his exam, we are almost guaranteed to succeed. Kind of a behavior here. So we're trying to model, for example, deep track capital. If you're talking about biotechnology, or if you're talking about non-bio, Bailey Gifford, or there are so many successful people, or Fidelity. They have been investing. And we're trying to see in ThinkSabio, what we're trying to do is we are making it very simple and trying to show you in a very matrix table what is been happening since few quarters, how this particular stock has been treated by the institutions in a very plain, in a quarterly table. Dhanu will go over all that. But the point I'm trying to make it here is, my friends, here, there is a method to make money in stock market. That is for sure. There's no doubt about it. But how do we do it? How do we narrow from 10,000 stocks to whatever the stocks that we believe is the challenge, is what we're trying to solve collectively. And that's where, we will share the knowledge. We, as a ThinkSabio, will identify what is been going on every day. See, we get to transactions two type of formats. One, quarterly. Every quarter completes, we summarize the transactions of the smart money. The second is every day we get transactions from the smart people, and which is nothing but 10 days old transaction. So we are close to 10 days and one is around 1 quarter. So we put together and try to summarize and see what best course of action we can take to make money. I can guarantee that there is a clear method out in the stock market, and we can make money in the stock market. There is a method. But the biggest problem that I experienced myself, or with our with the mini group in ThinkSabio, is we, as I don't know if I can generalize, but we as unfortunately Indians, our ancestors, our parents only taught us how to buy. No offense, but they never teach us how to sell. That is where I have seen the problem, including myself too. We see virtually our portfolio going up like 50%, 40% or 80%. I know people made like, 40K to 400K, XYG. But we never realized how to take the profits or how to sell, when to sell. That is a challenge even for the professionals too. Because the fact is, when you sell, the stock might go up. That kind of the confusion will make us, wait and wait. But by the time we wait, it's already lost 90%. That's where many of the people have lost their money, although they have seen, tremendously, their portfolio is up like 100%, 200%. But when we are falling, our mindset is, it's only fallen 10%. Let's wait. And next day it falls another 4%. Likewise, every day it keeps falling, but we never act. Including myself too, I must admit. I also failed. I learned too over a period of time, this is not how it works. This is like any other learning experience. Of course, if we are smart, we will learn from the failure people, and then we try not to do it. There's no reinvention, right? There's no point of reinventing, and you experience losing it. But we try to learn, and from the people or from the group or from the books or whatever it is, and then try to do it in a better way so that we can win. Right? So that is what I wanted to give a message tonight. But there is a method to make money in stock market. But we have to follow certain self-discipline, certain rule book. Then I can be very confident we can make good money in stock market. But I will go over later point of time. I will open up my portfolio, as I said, how my journey went through and all good stuff. Okay. So tonight I want to give you a ray of hope that we can make money. But of course, patience. There is nothing like overnight you can make money. That is a false. We never wanted to give. And also I never want to say ThinkSabio, by joining you will be a millionaire. That's a false statement either. False statement as well. So there is a method we need to understand collectively. And of course, I am sharing my own my portfolio too. Not that I am great, but I'm trying to be transparent, show what I am believing in. See, there are 10,000 stocks, ThinkSabians. You may have conviction one, I may have conviction on one. But we're trying to debate and see, when I'm investing, I'm trying to give a rationale, logic, why I'm investing here. Not that you need to follow me, but don't blame me or don't praise me for whatever. But I'm trying to be transparent, show where my conviction was. We don't need like 100 stocks to become wealthy. As I've shown in my very beginning journey, 2019, with only 3 stocks like NEO and JMIA and Tesla and SE. I think those are 3 or 4 stocks. I brought millions of dollars on the table. Of course, my failure has a variety of reasons, which we will get into that later session. But you don't need to have like hundreds of stocks and put, and you don't need to, but you can have like few, like 10 or 5, depends on your portfolio. We can make money. I proved it, and I'm going to prove it again too. We'll go over that. But again, there's a lot of choices here, ThinkSabians, but I don't want you to follow one person or one institution blindly. Unless you do some research on your own, your heart has to feel it. Okay, the artificial intelligence is what right now dominating the theme. So in that artificial intelligence, which stocks do I believe? Somebody believe in Google, somebody believe in Nvidia, somebody believe in ServiceNow. There's so many stocks. There are, if you open up AI, there are like plenty of stocks. Palantir is there. You name it. Everybody is entering into the artificial intelligence. Right now, I'm believing SOUM, right? So I have my own conviction. Likewise, you validate your theory. Why am I investing here? What confidence or courage do I get it by investing here? And if it is falling, how far I can hold here? Is my portfolio can hold it, or am I using margin? Will I be into a trouble? Because margin is a very dangerous game. I've seen both ways. I have succeeded very well with margin, and I have failed utterly with the margin too. So I think you all have to understand what is your portfolio size, what risks I can take, how far I can go, can I have the conviction here, but what is my mathematical evidence to stay in this particular stock? Who is into it? Who invested into it? Who I can trust? Right? This is all trust based. See, when you are making a decision, nobody knows how the stock will do in the next 10 weeks, 4 weeks, 10, 12 weeks, or 1 year, 2 years. We don't know. Nobody knows, matter of fact. You go back and look at any big successful companies in 1998 or even 2012, who knows that Tesla would go to $2,400, or Nvidia, who thought just a year ago from $100 it went up to like what, $1,100 or $1,000 or $900 stock. Nobody knows, but we make the decision based off statistics that we have, or the institution we have invested, and of course the current theme. Where is the market heading? What is the current trends and technologies? You can't sit on a stock that, oh, I believe it. Even though it is failing, I don't want to sit on the stock, because you have to admit, okay, I made a mistake, no big deal. Accept it. Acceptance is the biggest key in the stock market. Many of our people, including myself back then, oh, I invested in this particular stock, I don't want to give up. I mean, there is no reason to have an ego here. We are doing, we are investing, and we have to look at things objectively. If something is, let's say you have a garden in front of your house, right? You have a lawn. If there is a weeds, you don't want to keep seeing it, right? Weeds are growing. You need to take an action. So the same is the concept here, ThinkSabians. So there is a method, and early we start. There is a very good way of making wealth, but of course you have to have a confidence and patience and courage, and there is definitely a method to make money in the stock market. Of course, we may fail. As I said, without failure, nobody has ever succeeded in the stock market. You take Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett. These many success people have failed at some point many times, but they understood the method. Nobody is born good at. Everybody can become by learning. That is all ThinkSabio is trying to do. We are not like a, come here and we'll give you a magic. I don't want to promise you false promises. We are not doing that. ThinkSabio is only trying to identify a method, or trying to give you a data or information using which you can make a confident and conscious decisions. Unlike many other, providers are out there, like Fintel or Guru Focus. They did not break down like the way we broke down. I think Dhanu will go over all that, why we are confident, how you can make a decision and all that. Okay, so that's pretty much my introduction. I wanted to bring back the spirits, and I wanted to explain you there is a method to make money. Of course, you take risk. Without risk, nothing can be successful, right? When you go out, even when you're driving, we are taking a risk. You may be a smart driver, but someone else is driving recklessly. We may get hit too. There is a risk involved in every walks of life, but how much risk we can take is what defines our game strategy, game theory. Okay, so with that being said, thank you all, everybody joining here, and we promise to continue these sessions, weekly, maybe 2 or 3, or weekends. This will be an ongoing session. We wanted to continue to educate every one of you, identify our methods, or ThinkSabio, how it broke down. We have done so much good work, not to brag, but we have brought down so many, we have nailed down so many reports. So that's what Dhanu will go over and explain you, because it takes a lot of time. So that's why we will go with every day, every other day or whatever, weekly, 45 minutes, kind of like a college, like high school session. We will teach you and you get knowledge. Knowledge is powerful. When you have the knowledge, you know what to do with the knowledge. just like our college days, right? Thank you all. And with that being said, I will hand off to our hero Danu. He has a lot of knowledge and he knows in and out. He's an extremely valuable person who built this ThinkSabio website too when I was unavailable or disappeared 9 months. So he knows in and out and he has excellent knowledge. He'll go over and you can feel free to ask questions. He has a lot of love towards teaching and training, and he's a great man in one line. Okay, and please, Danu, you can take over, buddy, and go over whatever the features you wanted to show them, and let's continue this session. We can plan the next session when and all the good stuff. Okay, thank you all. Thank you.
All
and
right,
good
Sai.
day.
Yeah, thank you for all the good thoughts and also the process, how you went through to get to where we are or where ThinkSabio is today. And also thank you for good interaction and good words about me. But I'll see what I can do here today with our folks who are enthusiastic to learn more. Okay, on that note, thank you guys. A lot of people I see, this was a registration process. Definitely you took a minute there to register and all of them are here. First thing first, we have done these sessions long time ago where I was very much interested to do the sessions with a lot of folks who are eagerly willing to learn. That was the motivation for various reasons. One, I get to learn. Second, I get to interact with a lot of good people. At the same time, markets were doing good. Then again, things changed upside down, which is a fact, no matter how we present it. But again, from there, we want to believe in what we learned, as long as that's a reality or a possibility. So for that reason, we thought, as a ThinkSabio, we would present whatever we learn or whatever is being done, so it helps others to take a look, and if they can implement on their strategies to take it forward. Having said that, I came to this session with zero preparation, provided I have experience of whatever is being shared the last few sessions in the past. And also, if there is any background noise, I apologize. I have a lot of people at my home. Other than that, I think I want to cover a little bit what is going on or how this is built, what exactly we look into. At the same time, if you have any questions, everybody can talk, and I'll keep that to the last 10 minutes. And based on the suggestions we get out of this session, either here or offline, we want to set up some way of structured process to see, even one benefits, will take it forward. Just like Sai said, or he's willing to, probably every week or weekly, twice, thrice, doesn't matter. We want to put in full force and see how we can take it forward. On that note, okay, I saw some question a few days ago in the group saying, hey, how do I go back and see particular data, right? If there are people who are part of ThinkSabio at the same time not aware what's going on, I think that's where we wanted to teach. So just to give you an overview, I'm going to share my little in a little bit of time the screen, but just to give you an overview, this product is built on institutional data. That's one thing. How do we get that data is what we want to know. Other than that, there are a lot of reports that are built on price-related structuring. There are a lot of reports that are built on volume-related. So which is indirectly giving you one, fundamental knowledge, two, technical knowledge. Steps 2 and 3 is giving you some direction with respect to that. When you put all together, you might be able to pick a winner that might be in a long run, could make good funds. At the same time, when you're solely depending on price and volume on a short term, you might be having some opportunities as well. So on the initial part, what I said, this was built based on the investment details we get from bigger institutions. That could be Vanguard, that could be BlackRock, that could be big institutes wherein they have started with very small firms, but eventually grew into a multifold billionaire assets under management. So whoever is our favorite based on their performance, or based on how they started off and took off, right? So on that note, basically the information we get, or ThinkSabio gets, is from SEC. It's a public domain wherein anyone who has a particular percentage of stake into a particular company, they have to report. So if you have to divide and categorize, it simply comes out to maybe 2-3 steps. One, as an insider, whether when you get into a stock or when you sell off a stock, within 1 to 2 days of your particular action, right? Let's say I am an insider to a particular company, let's say Apple CEO or Tesla CEO. I'm just picking names which are very familiar, but so as an insider, I do an action of a buy or a sell. So then I have 1 to 2 days. Let's say I do it now. I have from this minute to next 2 days to be able to report saying, okay, I got this stock at this price and this much amount of quantity. Same goes for the sell, right? This much stock, this much price I have sold. That's called insider relation. So what happens? Immediately I have to report to Security Exchange Commission. From there, as I said, it's a public domain data wherein that was fetched very nicely and built it into a understandable, readable format for the users. The second thing is, let's say I have I'm an institute who has been managing money, just like we talk about Kathy Wood, ARC Management Investment. I know she has been having tough time. That's what we see, or maybe some of their customers are leaving. However, she's managing a big portfolio. Anybody as such, right, who is managing more than 100 million portfolio, and when they're trying to buy a stake into a particular company, which the significance of it, if it is more than 5%, they have to report within 1 to 10 days of their action. So let's say I buy some stock into a stock called ARQT. It's a biotech stock, which is one of the stocks she invested long ago. So the moment, let's say they have 100 million shares, okay? If I'm buying more than 5 million shares, which is 5% of the company, then I have to immediately act and report it, saying, okay, I bought this. Or when that, let's say I have 10% stake into a particular company already, and when it hits below to 5%, or when let's say I have 6%, and then I'm selling 1.5% of it. As soon as it comes below to 5%, then I should be able to report the same sell as well between 1 to 10 days of the transaction. Based on that, the data is collected, sliced nicely into report formats where one can understand and presented it. Okay, let me try to share some of the features of it, and then okay, I'm hoping you're able to see my screen. So the data is presented as I said. So let's say I take the same ARQT stock which we talked. So this is called individual statistical report. Basically, I have one stock. I want to see whether investing into it is a good idea, or does this stock even have any significance in terms of institutional interest, right? Or how well this stock is known in the market, or how long this has been a great stock that has some attention. These are the things it gives a quick overview. Based on market cap, based on the float of it, we do have some knowledge. But apart from those terms, you can see someone who is having high significance towards the stock based on these numbers. So how this is built? So there are two ways, right? You come across a stock where one of our friend is talking about it. He just comes up and says some XYZ stock. Then to just get some significance, some idea, what it really means. Although enough information is being heard from your friend, this is one place where you can cumulatively see all the pricing or investmental related data. So earlier we talked, if you go through, there are different tabs to cover, but on a nutshell, this is where everything is captured in terms of how the pricing is moving, volume is built, how counts are performing. So if you see here, it has a decent number of counts. So the question, when I was seeing this report initially, was, okay, what you could call a significant number, right? Because let's say everywhere, if it's 1,000 and I'm seeing 132 here for this particular symbol or stock or a company, whatever you call it, 132 might be insignificant, right? If everything is above 1. So after prolonged research and thought process, anything above 80 to 100 is good attention, right? So that information is captured every quarter and being represented here. So basically, we talked about earlier, a person should report internally within 1 to 2 days of action. Institution should report 1 to 10 days of action if they are taking 5% or when they are bringing down 5%. And the third scenario is simply when I own more than 100 million. Let's say I'm managing my friend's money of 100 million. Let's say ThinkSabio is a public company, or I'm investing their money, whatever, $100 million is being maintained. The moment when I have that particular kind of assets under management, every quarter, let's say this quarter ended on March 30th or March 31st, whatever it is, between 1 to 45 days from there, I have to report all my holdings, whether I own 1 share, 10 shares, 100 shares, 1,000, billions, or entire company, doesn't matter. I have to, just like Trump stock, right? DJT, he owns almost 69%, I believe. So immediately I have to report whenever I'm doing certain actions, or on a quarterly basis, definitely, without a doubt, as long as my portfolio is more than 100 billion. So every quarter, what it is saying is here, 132 institutes have been holding a position into this. If you see these numbers, so they give you some significance. So institute counts and then shares, right? I own 1 share and I'm trying to buy more. That means I have some interest for whatever reasons. The actual reasons of it is where, the little research or our capability to slice this data into a meaningful outcome for us. That's where our analysis goes in. So if I'm buying from a 4 shares to a 10 shares the next quarter, right? I might have done a lot of buys and sells in between, but I would like to stay here with longevity, the nature, right? The thinking process. So that means it's giving a positive impact, that this has definitely some significance. So same way, the same institute shares in terms of percentage it's being represented. So bottom line, how their data is flowing is being captured with a symbol. The reason I came here is, if you ever hear about any particular stock, simple way to just see who are really in it, something like that kind of information you can quickly get, and you can see any of the people out of this who is really been focusing here into this company. I'm sure we heard about Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, Vanguard. These are people where they invest more chunks into most of the stocks. Again, why they are into this particular stock? There are stocks where they are not really into this as well. So that means there's a difference. If they are in, that means they have some kind of awareness about this product, this company products, or belief, or uh, that information gives you some kind. Similarly, like I told you, every 1 to 10 days, they have to report if they are buying more than 5% or less, bringing down than 5%. So those are captured as and when they come into particular symbol. So if you see this, I think looks like on 6th March 2024, there is some action by this particular individual or institute with their stake. They have acted and they have gone a little bit. Why do you see all this? You see this, we talked about the 5%. There could be exceptions for whatever I said, it applies to 90 percent of the scenarios. There could be some exceptions, but if you see, all of them are owning more than 5%. So they have acted as soon as their stakes are being adjusted. Okay. So when this kind of actions happen on a day to day, this is giving you some input. Okay, this particular stock is getting attention. Okay. So if I were you, I might be getting a question. Well, based on this kind of transactions, where is something you can remember a scenario where that has really popped well and moved forward with the positive direction. So that immediately reminds me of GME. There were plenty of transactions right before to 3 months of it being moving like what was called in stock market a game changer, right? Or you can call um, FOMO, whatever the reason, but there were plenty of transaction suggesting something is going on here, and you saw what happened. So like that, there were few, and I'm sure there is something that did not work too. But at the end of the day, the game here is to get awareness and to have a probability of a win. It's a probability game. If you can make 6 to 7 success out of 10, that's a big win, right? So that's with respect to this. So this is when you have a quick word among your friends, or you got to notice something quickly about stock, right? But the actual scenario happens. How do I find this particular stock is worth my attention, right? This is where we talked about how you got to know, you want to see little bit of information versus I want to find a good stock that I can invest myself, or I can do more research to take forward, whether as a watch list or my investment strategy, etc., etc. For that, I should say ThinkSabio has sliced a lot of data into more easy and understandable format, right? So when I started off, I was thinking, what could be Buffett investing really? Okay, that's where you call it as individual institution report. Some Buffett is sitting somewhere else. I don't know him. I never interacted. I can only see him on magazines or as a successful person. But I'm really interested to see what positions he has, what kind of stocks does he really hold. Whether I want to learn from it is a different concept, but at least immediately sitting here, you will be able to find uh, his 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 entire holdings, right? His company is Berkshire Hathaway. Once you go into it, um, this is how the data displays. Looks like he has around 46. Hopefully, he has positions into all. If he has sold something recently, also they show up because it's a comparison between 2 quarters. If you see here, right, this data is being given quarterly. The reason being I covered in one of our 3 scenarios. One is insider quick action. One is getting 5% plus stake or bringing it down, which is a 1 to 10 day action. You can call it instant or a short term. The other one is managing big portfolios, and you do it every quarter, your entire holdings as is, right? So that's why this is individual institution report. So let's say I have a company, I'm running this stock market institution where I'm managing people's money, and luckily I got to a situation where I'm managing 105 million. Then immediately this is how it looks. So they own big stake in Apple, right? He owns 905 million. He has 915 last quarter, but he made some changes. It looks like he trimmed 10 million shares for whatever reason. So like that, you get to see big picture of some people. You get to know quickly, right? You want to quickly know about it. So there are in the market Motley Fool. I'm sure most of you heard about it, and Motley Fool gives suggestions, out of which Netflix clicked a big way, all the way from the bottom to wherever it stays right now. So that one pick let him survive for 10-15 years. But if you want to see that, right, simply you go, I think It still says Motley Fool, and they might register and manage their funds in one company, two companies, or I can have tens of my companies, right? As a group, as an individual, doesn't matter. But they have a couple of them, and you can see here what are they really working into. If they are giving a suggestion that is saying worth notable your attention, right? They might have a bigger stake, especially if there is a stock that is having bigger scope. They might be doing some action, right, over a course of quarters or years, so forth. So here you can see if anything they might have got recently also you can see. But before I go into that, since 6 quarters, how they did with Microsoft, Amazon, do they even have Netflix? They talk a lot about Netflix. Let's see. It's curious. They got long ago. Yeah, they do hold. All right. How many shares they have? This is how they acted over the past 6-7 years, 6-7 quarters actually. Right. Same way, you'll be able to see. Let's say, you know what, Motley Fool is suggesting something new. He might be giving out five things, but let's see if he really invested it, right? So this is the comparison between 2 quarters. You can play around. You can play around here with any quarter you like, any number of quarters you want to see the data as a visibility. But let's say now I'm interested. Right now he's telling, okay, go invest in CrowdStrike. Go invest in CrowdStrike. Did he do any action with it? He may not. He might believe, but not everybody has all the funds to invest. But he wants to do something. So here you can go to the filters. There is some category where we are talking about the status here, right? So we are talking about status continuously, what is happening, whether they are increasing it, reducing it when you compare between 2 quarters. But let's see, maybe we just want to see what is newly bought. There are certain kinds of status which is self-explanatory. When you see it increased is increased between 2 quarters, reduced is reduced, no changes. I had 10 shares, now I'm living with the same 10 shares. When you're newly buying it, I didn't have a position in Amazon, but I would like to do that right now, maybe because the earnings they gave is giving me confidence. So if they're giving some suggestions, it's easy for you to figure out, did he get anything? So looks like they got 17 entries, okay, with different sectors. It's more of, out of this stock is really doing good, NTNX, right? To my knowledge, it's performing well. I have to see rest of the details, but so you get to see some overview. When you have a conviction on some, it's added confirmations. When you hear about it from someone, you want to learn more about it. This is the place you got. In both directions you have something to look at it, right? So like that, there are so many things that have the reports have been established. Again, depending on how far you are, how what kind of questions you have, we might and we would like to cover such a way that it gives ample knowledge and benefit. But on a high level, right, simple concept. If you want to you want to put it in very short words, the idea is ThinkSabio has built a platform wherein you will be able to see institutional investments sliced into different reports, easily understandable. They do that comparison on a short-term investments, which is 1 to 10 days, you can call it, or inside transaction, which is 1 to 2 days, you can call it, or on a quarterly basis, right? And that data is developed into various significant reports to be able to find the stocks that are moving. So that is on the nutshell. Apart from that, where you can fundamentally think about, you might be going to few sites and adding this into your consideration is going to only give a significant um, upside confidence or a downside confidence depending on whatever to make your decision. Apart from that, the other reports which we talked, which is also indirectly giving you a clearly sliced, scanned data, technical wise, which is trying to capture what is happening currently. or short term of 1 to this week or in last couple of weeks, how market is performing, which part this is really moving, etc., etc. So this combined together, you gain a confidence what to do or where exactly to put in your money based on your goals. Like I said, if you want to see some as a reference for long term, well, how do you take a stance? Well, some you want to do as a short term to quickly make on the momentum, current momentum. There is some information on that too. So on that note, let me see if I can quickly cover those for your understanding. If you go to reports on a daily, so basically to put in simple, you have some report where it continuously trying to capture what are moving on day to day. Similarly, downward, what are not performing very well, right? So just for understanding, let's go here. I want to see what is happening right now, what stocks to really believe in. So this they have structured. You don't have to scan, you don't have to go through hundreds of charts, nothing. Simply, okay, since 11 weeks is something going continuously. So if you see here, simply some communication service stock is moving. You this stock itself, telecom, they move slow. Is it your choice to invest in this kind of thing? Because everybody has different stomach or heart to be able to digest your investment. Some are very patient enough where you can't tolerate, like for example, they could be very patient with their investment versus, let's say, me as an example. I want things to be done in 1 2 days with this investments. So slowly I'm changing the attitude towards based on opportunity rather than what I think, right? It's based on opportunity that action should go in. So whoever likes a slow, after so many 10 days, 11%, you're more than welcome to do that. But let's say I don't want to go too much into who which has done already his job. Rather than let me catch the momentum if it's going right now. So that's where you are knowing, something with restaurant stock. Maybe this is for farming, right? Something with aerospace, defensive stocks. Are they moving? So this is how you get some brief knowledge. From here, you can pick most convincing and which is aligning with all the things that you look into. It could be fundamental way of company is functioning, whether they have something recently with the great news or something to deliver positively, or maybe the price action is looking good for you. See, at the end of the day, price action is something temporarily, it's giving appealing momentum versus a long-term vision of the company, leadership of the company, which gives you bigger scope, right? So all this mixed and also collectively 1,000 people at this point trying to share what they think, talk is going to give something for a platform for you to share your idea, get inputs, correct from the mistakes, what people are doing, being passively, based on what they share, you can collectively understand, I could have done this better, I do the same, so this is what they are suggesting. As a team, right? As a team, we are trying to come together to understand what is being built. At the same time, talk our experience, real-time experiences in both success and failures of the execution, right? Especially Sai is very, very transparent with everything what he does, right? He fails, he abruptly puts it there. He passes, he feels like anybody, we all feel happy. But that is giving some idea about, okay, I could have done this, or I should not do this going forward. Oh, this is what they're talking more about. So let me make sure this is what I am going to follow as well to see if this is a method that really adds value. Okay. So like that, we will come up with the curriculum and be more structured. That way, based on, again, it needs some feedback from all of our users. So it's easy to build, okay, this is where their struggling point is. They don't understand what a SEC is. They don't understand what a quarterly report is. They don't understand what daily report is, right? Anything missing would only add more value to come up with a more prepared and structured plan, which is what is going on. Work is going on in thoughts. But on that note, I think I would like to stop here. But if any questions, we are more than happy to answer and see how well we can take it forward. Anybody, any questions? Not just reports or any generalized question, anything related to stock market. Yeah, I think I have some question for my direct DMs here. Okay, I think I have a question from GSG. Again, GSG, you feel free to question if you have anything, you can talk as well. But let me go through your question quickly. Are you going to show how 1 to 10 days, 1 to 2 days data play on TS platform? Okay, so that is going to be SEC transactions. Let me quickly share and go to that. So to answer that, so if I go to GST, that's the first question. So how they capture is, as I said, whether it could be 1 to 10 days, right? So it's daily thing. Yesterday, GSG might have bought it, or 10 days ago, GSG might have bought it. This is the time, 10 days, he has to act. I might have bought it today, but I don't want to wait 10 days. Let me get the paperwork done, right? So it's daily action. So that's why daily, SEC, and let's say today's report. You want to go to today's report. 5 days access quickly here, but again, you have entire report here. Every day is captured, sorted by date. So let's say last 5 days. Today is a Tuesday. If you see here, we got 11 entries, right? Because some action has been going on. Today, somebody got some shares newly. There is no shares before, but currently they have. It's all self-explanatory. The concept is simple, but when you go to this report, you should like when we go through all the header or the title of it, it's self-explanatory. Okay, somebody today in EYPT, who is that somebody? This particular person. I talked about institution, right? Anybody who owns more than certain amount, or for whatever reason they are trying to capture a stake, they will have to act. So this particular institute, and they're putting money into this, and they have bought this much amount, and this comes out to how much percentage? At currently something like 10%. Okay, so this is according to SEC transactions or SEC standards. They do some transaction, they report. So like that, somebody else might have benefited, sold off. Somebody might have, like I said, you want to add into a position depending on how market is doing. You own a position, still want to add it, or you're a long-term investor into a particular thing. You just keep putting money whenever you think you can save a little bit here, right? So that's a scenario which is increasing your money. You made enough money, or your stock is not working as you expected, you want to get out completely, that's a sold off scenario. But you don't want to get out completely, but you want to reduce some stake to be safe side, that's a reduced scenario. So everything is self-explanatory by status or anything. But this is the place where you can check GS, it's under reports, and then basically you go to daily SEC, that should do it basically. Okay. Going to next question, how does it reflect market live data, or there will be a certain delay from market? No, I think let me go back. So if you're looking at the pricing, sorry, this is a question from Vinay, and Vinay, if you're looking for the pricing, this is what it is.
Pricing, especially the daily trends, right? You mentioned, for example, is it captured at the time of the market close, or something might have been running till the market close, but after close it might have nosedived, right?
Right.
So those things matter. So
Okay.
in sport, is it live data, or is it captured at some moment in the day?
Right. So depending on the report, right? So this is trending, like the title says. So this is live data. So tomorrow at 4 a.m., Okay, since we are having this session right now, tomorrow at 4 a.m., which is May 1st, 2024, this starts spinning. The moment market starts, it starts spinning 4 a.m. And anything trending at that point, you will get it. But again, the real players or a lot of volume comes in starting 9:30 is the actual market, right? So anything you see from that point also, you just get to see real time. Whatever is moving in the market, you get to see it. On the other end, to your question, this is something happening on that day to day at that moment between 9:30 to 4 or between 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's where the real market is, but the actual volume is between 9:30 to 4, as you know. But going back to your other question, where I'm really interested. Let me go here and see, to make our life easy, where price is moving upward, like from $1 to $2, $2 to $3 on a day to day. That's why it says daily uptrend. And the volume also, let's say the volume was 100K. Now second day 200K, 300K, third day. I'm just giving you some vague numbers. At the end, it's uptrend mode. So that means something is happening here, some interest is happening, but momentum can be lost at any moment. That's why these are more of short-term action based on what is going on, right? So here, if you see, these are something captured at 4 p.m. prices, basically, because that's a daily close, right? If you're into market for some time. So it compares every day close. Let's say it closed at $10 yesterday. If it is 11 today, it's making some wave, higher high. If you are talking in a technical perspective, higher high. So let's say here I want to see what is it in 5 days. Is there anything? So some stock Rito, it's going. I saw this today, but since small and I could not research what this company does, although from industry I can quickly figure out maybe it's giving some construction material or something as such. But it's been trending since 5 days. So is it giving me any information from here? Okay, I'll try to play this. Otherwise, I'll take it easy. But there is some stock NEON. I've been watching since last 20-25% it moved. I think it is not here. But some stock, let's say this MMM, I think it had earnings, it did very good. But the indication was it already was making some moves since 3 days, both price and volume, something like that. From information, you'll be able to figure out a few decent plays that are moving in the market. So like here we have only two, but is it also giving you appealing confidence that you can take a trade? Is what we have to that homework, or that particular intuition that you have to get it by individual as a individual. So bottom line, to put it simple, yes, it is live data for anything you consider. As a trending report, it is live. As a daily close report, which makes sense to be at 4 p.m. Data, that is also live.
Dhanu, can I interrupt here for a quick question?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, the next question is there a way we can export? The answer is no, we can't export. It should be everything on the website.
Dhanu, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so quick thing regarding this daily trending, right? Since we are talking about it, so we have to make sure one point, ThinkSabio, because these are trending stocks, and unless you have some rule book or some amount you dedicate, like I'm going to put $100, because these are quick, either go up or go down in no control of time. So you have to be really careful. Don't put your entire money and then I want to take risk. That's not the way to go. Some of these things are trending stocks. You put, let's say you have $1,000 example. So you can say, well, I will play with my $100 every day, or trending stocks I choose on that day and I play. Because these, as I said, Dhanu said, they quickly go up or quickly go down. And if you are busy at work and you buy and you go to a meeting and come back, it may have gone down. Every second matters sometimes in stock market when you're, doing this daily trending stocks or something like that. So be aware of that kindly. and you always have a plan. Okay, I'm investing my $100. Is it okay if I take the risk, and am I okay to lose too? Only then you need to pick these kind of stocks, because these are not like, rock solid companies which may continuously go up, because these are trending stocks, right? So be aware kindly of the fact, and then you play your strategies accordingly. This is my experience. Again, everybody have different experience or stories, but I want you to be kindly be aware, and your allocation of your money should be limited on these kind of stocks. Thank you, Danu. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's a great point, Sai. Again, these are opportunities where one can find and then go with what we are looking for, short-term gain, long-term gains, like Sai said. So these are the reports built, which is giving knowledge. For me also, I rely a lot on these reports to evaluate, build my confidence. Otherwise, let's say I don't have anything as this platform, for example. I don't know where to look for, how to even find it first place, and then to come up with a plan for a particular stock or stocks, and then how to execute it. I could be right, wrong, and I could be taking big win, small win, but at least now by myself solely, right? It's all about building confidence as an individual, trying to take trade on our own and build it. Again, we want to cover all those topics based on what exactly you need, where you lagged, not as a financial advisor, but more of a working relation or trying to help each other as individuals based out of this platform, or being having a aim of collectively trying to grow. That's a goal. So on that note, I'll jump to next question. I know we passed a little bit over 10, but we'll give a few more minutes. So one good question I see is where I brought up about the counts. I had this question too. Okay, I see 130. Is it significant or not? How do I know? Right? Based on my experience, as I said, 80, 90, 100, it's good to watch. The company could be growing, and you can watch the trend of every quarter too. On that note, Arvind's question is, okay, I see 132, what percentage of it is really out of the total, right? So today, as of now, ThinkSabio has close to 7,000 institution data. If you're looking at 132, it could be around 2.2% probably. I did not do the math, but 2% if I can quickly think of. So that's the number. What I would see is, as I said, these are all pointers that build confidence to be able to put money also, right? Let's say I have $100 portfolio. In one stock, I might be putting $1 versus another stock I want to take chance for $5. If I'm taking $5, there is some significance compared to $1 one. That significance points could be anything, but this will give confidence. When I look at it, I look at what is that particular company doing, who are all investing into it, what could be their track record. Oh, how do I know their track record? Yes, that's where collectively this platform was built, continuously learning, and that group discussion or continuous knowledge share will give you some idea, saying, okay, this is where the place I might be, this could be worth noting. So on top of all this, you get to see how much they have invested, how they acted. Like I said, Motley Fool could be saying, get Netflix. But what they have done, then they were recommending. It will boost your confidence to next level, right? I am saying this is the stock. If I had money, I would invest. But I'm investing something else. If I openly share you my portfolio and I'm investing something else, then immediate question you or I would ask is, why? You're saying this is the one, this is the best. But why? If you don't have funds, you're stuck, that's different. But you're picking new names. So like that, you get to see, right? So it's just build confidence. So Arvind, for your question, the answer is, yeah, out of 7,000, there are close to 7,000. Can you do a walkthrough of sound and why it might run? So for this, few things.
Danu, let me take over that question.
Absolutely, Sai. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I came at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, buddy Raj, let me answer that question, right? Why I felt it, right? So I already explained in ThinkSabio platform. I'm sure you can go back later, right, to see what the reasons are, why I believed, right? But I can again quickly give here my convictions. One is it's an artificial intelligence voice application platform, AI with voice. Okay, sound. The on February 14th, it came to everybody's notice because NVIDIA invested into it. Of course, NVIDIA invested only whatever fraction of it, but since they invested on February 14th, they revealed their 13 FHR or quarterly quarterly filings. That's where everybody came to know that, oh, NVIDIA invested into Sound or SoundHound, the company name. That's where even I came to know. Honestly, our ThinkSabians are also one of the ThinkSabians posted on February 14th, hey, NVIDIA invested in Sound. I mean, the moment I saw NVIDIA, I jumped on that day because I know it's going to run. And, two reasons. One, artificial team is running artificial intelligence and NVIDIA invested. NVIDIA is the king right now at present, the entire market. So first, those two reasons, I invested very small amount to begin with. Then, that was like $3, I guess, that day, February 14th. You look at it, 3 or 3.2 or something by the time I invested. Then it ran like crazy from there. 3 to it went all the way 10. So I kept on adding. First, when I invested, I did not want it to have a big position. But I thought, hey, NVIDIA is there, let me try. But then I kind of, as I seeing it, because also I'm a voice application developer. I used to be. I used to work for, Blue Cross, Craft, and all that kind of stuff. I'm a voice application developer. I connect to their business solving product. Right? That's my personal reason. That may not be a connected factor here. But I see, their voice applications are really, really powerful. And these guys are from Stanford PhD guys. The founders, two founders. That's where I think they connected to NVIDIA founder. Because NVIDIA founder also had a degree from Stanford, right? They're all PhDs. But whatever the reasons, but I believed in their, technological skills in, artificial intelligence, and they're trying to solve three different things. One, context, which is previously separate entity. Previously, Avaya, Cisco, Genesis. These are all the voice portal companies. For every company, right, there is a product. For a product, there will be a service needed. You need a customer service. So you set up entire contact center. So that is a separate entity. But these guys, SoundHound, even doing that. They're doing for restaurants, they're doing for contact centers, they're doing for hospital management, in any service industry or any even food industry. If you go to McDonald's or Taco Bell or whatever, you can speak to the, this software as if you're speaking to a human. It's unbelievable. You just talk to them. I mean, human also may not comprehend sometimes. You say, I want 3, chicken burgers, 2 veggie burgers. I want Coke. I don't want Coke. I want orange juice. So many crazy things, natural speaking. And this will convert and process the order like cakewalk. You can go to their website. I mean, I connected personally. I thought artificial intelligence is the way to go right now. The market is crazily depending on, going on that. And SoundHound is in a very beginning stages. Of course, they're not profitable, but if you look at their, financials, last 4 quarters, they have been going up their revenues, and their revenues are going up and their expenses are coming down. So they're yet to be profitable. Of course, they're any startup company. And I see if I get in right now and if I hang on to it, maybe a year, 2, 3, 4, I don't mind. I'm not in rush. I'm looking at long term and build the heck of big wealth here. That is my honest thinking in my mind. Let's make it like 3x, 4x, 10x, 20x. If I wait, right? That is my rationale. I don't know if that answers to you. And also, there are so many institutions invested. NVIDIA is one, and I see Charles Schwab, where I trade. Charles Schwab also invested into it. If you look at their top 10 institutions, you see all of them. And we have to wait for May 14th to see how many new other institutions or what other people have done it. But I gained the confidence. I got the courage, and I thought, okay, I'm willing to take the risk. Right now, my average is, although I started at 3, I made profit, but I gained, not profit. I did not sell it. That's where I told you at the beginning. The selling part is a huge challenging part. I went up like 60% because I bought at 3, it went to like $9. Or, it went like crazy, but I did not sell it. That's where my weakness is also. I'm also trying to work out, keeping in the long-term goal, sometimes we miss this profit. Now from 10 or $9, it came back all the way to $3. I mean, could I have sold some and bought again? Yes, I could have. But after the fact, everything looks cool. But regardless, I must accept at least some I could have sold it. I admit that. I could have sold. See, if I have X position, let's say I have, of 1,000 stocks, I could have at least sold 200 or 300 when it was $9. Because from 3 to 9, I already made 3x. I was greedy, perhaps, under the pretext of long term. I mean, retrospection, I should have sold at least 300 or 1/3 or at least 100. That is what my learning curve. I'm also learning every day. Oh, I have a 60% gain, but I missed it. But okay, but that's how you need to keep doing your calculation, and you have to accept your fact. That is the biggest thing in the stock market. You don't want to be, acceptance is the key. Yes, I missed it. I shouldn't miss it. Or I put a SL at least when from 9, when it is falling down to 8, I should have put at least some, you clear it off. From 8, when you are falling to 7, I should have cleared some. That could have been a smart move. Definitely, I missed it. But going forward, I'm going to put, SLs or stop or limit cells. When it is at 9 and it is coming down, I put at different intervals. At 850, you sell some. At 820, you sell some. Or 750, you sell some. So that way, we're not missing the gains that we already gained it. Right now, my average is at 550 something. And I'm currently, honestly, I'm down. I wouldn't say loss because until I sell it, I can't claim a loss. So currently I'm down. But hopefully, after the ER, I'm not in rush. So I am prepared. I'm prepared to stay here. I'm not worried about the fluctuations. As every fluctuation, I'm trying to add up, build up my position. Starting from February 14th till now, I built up a very big position. I'm going to reveal everything, when I open up my portfolio. But I have a confidence that it will do a good job over a period of time. Right? So that's my conviction. Yeah.
Also, how about UPST, Sairam? I see a lot of posts of you posting UPST.
Yeah, my friend, as I told you, there are only 3 stocks I abundantly believed. I have explained in ThinkSabio group too. I mean, I am a big risk taker in my life, as you can see my life too. So I believed only 3 that I think will build enormous wealth for my portfolio. 1, SYUN, 2nd, UPST, 3rd, CRVS. I built in 7-digit portfolios in those 3. Okay. I must admit. The reason is, I'll explain each 3 of them one I already explained, sound. The UPST reason is right now it's undervalued. It's like 20s or, I picked it up when it is 20s, but I know it went to $9 or $10 also. The reason is right now the environment of interest rates and inflation economy is bringing that down. Okay. Again, UPST has an abundance of potential because it's an ultimate AI lending platform. AI underline. See, if you look at it, my 3 stocks, 2 of them are predominantly AI dominated, right? UPST has a AI, first AI lending platform. And once it went to even $400, of course, it's not a comparison, but I'm not expecting to go to 400. I am expecting at least it would go 3x. I will be happy. I made my money. I'm okay to wait 1 year, 2 years. I don't have any rush. I gained back my portfolio because of thankful to VKTX. So I'm not in rush. I'm going to sit. I will take every opportunity if I possible. And the conviction here is if you wait at least 1 year or 1.5 years, the interest rates have to settle down. That is the biggest key for UPST. So once it settles down, I think this will take off in no time to maybe at least 2x. At least I'm saying. But it has potential to go any bigger size too. That is what my conviction UPST. But don't look at the, right now. Right now, it's very unfavorable, inclement weather for UPST. But this is the weather you need to capture and sit it and stay and relax. Don't look at the portfolio every day. But you should have a position and don't take the margin. Or if you take the margin, maybe only 5%. That's what I'm living right now. Usually, I'm like 100% margin user. but I came down to only 7 or 6% I'm holding right now, margin. Because I was bond once. I also gained. But anyway, my lesson right now is if you are on margin, you will be under big pressure and you have to sell it off. All mess will happen. That's why I took a big lesson. I'm not going to overuse my margin. If that is the case, if it falls, so what? Let UPST come down to even $17 or $10. I don't really care. I may add more if I can, or I'll just watch. I know it may be down because nobody can say what will be the future price, right? You believe this is a good company. It has good fundamentals. It has done excellent once a point of time. It's an AI lending platform. All banks need it. And they also lend, money too, besides giving to the banks the software. So it has good software. That's what my belief system. I mean, if it bankrupts, I mean, I have to give up too. I don't know. But so far, I see it has good fundamentals. And third point, Daniel Loeb invested into it. He's a very successful hedge fund investor. Good companies good institutions are also into it, right? That's my conviction. And of course, CRVS, I've been talking about it. He's a man of science. It's called, Stanford, oncology professor. And he has done, so many miracles in biotechnology, like Pharmacyclics is one of his big success company. It's like, I give an example. If Rajamouli is shooting a movie, even if the movie comes after 4 years, you have a minimum expectation. Yes, the movie might do well because his credibility. You look at his reputation and credibility. Well, in spite of that, if Rajamouli's next movie fails, I mean, that's up to you, right? You have the conviction, but if it fails, it is what it is. You're taking the risk. Anywhere you invest, there is some risk, some degree of risk involved into it. But am I willing to take the risk? Absolutely. I love to take the risk for this kind of people. So that is my conviction on those things. The rest I'm playing like Kawa or, you have my other stocks. If you look at my portfolio, I know we'll update and reproduce our new portfolio, my portfolio. Not that I'm great, but I'm just showing what I'm doing it. Kawa is one. Dash I used to have, but Lab. There's some other companies I invested small, but I'm big into these 3 companies which I mentioned. Because I have confidence and, let's see how well I can build wealth in these 3. Or even if 1 or 2 fails, even if 1 succeeds, I think I'm still cool. That's where the calculation I made. Probability of 3 failing is very less. Well, it's not guaranteed. It may fail all 3 too. But the likelihood, you look at the probability, maybe not. That's what my calculations are. Okay. I hope I answered, buddy.
Yeah, thank you, Sai, for the SON and UPST explanation. One pointer I just want to add, considering the reports we did. Not that every pattern of this will give you, but if you see SON, sorry, whoever asked that question, I forgot the name. But we talked about how interest of the institutions, which is nothing but individuals, right? They, as a company, they are representing, but they're trying to put in their money. So how from nowhere, I know AI has started its pickup since last, let's say, probably 6-7 months heavily, and of course ChatGPT a year ago. But how it picked up during the same time of that quarter 2022, right? That means some interest is there. Everybody who is taking a bet here is making a calculated move, assuming their risk will pay off. If they know for certain, well, they do everything their means, right? They don't put, let's say, $10 out of $100. Same way, .com bubble or anything that has happened in the past will look very easy. I could have guessed it, etc., etc. But here, that's where the interest is building up. That's what these reports will give you. Like I said, you might have information or you might have come across something. This information builds more confidence, one way through the website, reports, self-learning. The other thing, the platform itself, where transparency is being presented, questions are being answered by sharing their view. And there are so many good TS community people voluntarily, without expecting anything, they try to share knowledge, bring in more information. So all these combinations makes this as a good place or as a good start point for people who don't know nothing to be able to take their journey in more positive way to correct themselves and eventually succeed. Just like our education, we studied for what, 15-20 years to be able to make some progress. Everybody makes their success to a certain level, right? Same is here. We all collectively start, and this success can be seen in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Okay, so that was one reason that caught my eye and slowly started investing. Of course, after Sai's belief has put me into that stock into limelight, and then I did my own DD, my own way of thinking, what works, and then invested in multiple accounts to see where it goes, basically. Okay. All right. So I think Sai, on that note, probably if no other questions, we will end and try to see based on feedback how we can do more sessions and more content that is really being looked out by the entire community.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is we need to go every week, 2 or 3 sessions covering a few features. There are so many features out in the website. So we need to give the education what each feature does, how it is going to add value to one of us when we are making the decision. So once it's like good old example. Instead of giving a fish, you need to learn how to, fish kind of example. So once you learn ThinkSabians, this knowledge is going to be there, and you can teach to your kids or their kids, grandkids, whatever. See, the knowledge is what is important here. We are trying to gain the knowledge of who is investing, how their process. We see in the newspapers many people made tons of money. Of course, some people have failed too. We need to learn about both of them. Why somebody failed? Failure is more important to learn than even winning. That's what APJ Abdul Kalam sir says. You read the failure stories, so you learn where they failed. So that's where you need to start. If you're a beginner, if you don't have much money to experiment, just start with small, like $50, $100. Understand the process. Or even you don't want to put real money, you have virtual portfolio in ThinkSabio, right? I know, of course, virtual and real is totally different in terms of the emotions, but at least it's a way of learning to see how your methods are working, how your picking style is working, where you are failing, where you are cutting it off. That's all experimented on your simulation software rather than the real money, right? So that's what all we can suggest here. But one thing I again and again underlining is it's a knowledge, and you understand, and you can make good wealth over a period of time. But let's not be greedy, my friend. Somebody making money, oh, let me make it overnight. That's going to that may not work out. It's not like a movie, or it's not a lottery. That doesn't work. Sometimes some people may be too lucky. They may put it today, tomorrow it may go up for whatever reasons. That doesn't mean we can be a millionaires overnight. That doesn't exist at all. Whoever have succeeded, including Warren Buffett or many people you see it, they have gone through the process. They have went through years. Unfortunately, it's time taking. Like your backyard, you plant a seed, it will take time. Or we have our babies, they're born and it take them 15, 16 years before they get to college. Same old process, everything, right? So that being said, thank you again, ThinkSabians, for joining. I know we went over 24 minutes extra, but we'll start this. We promise to start, and Dhanu is always here, and me and our team is there. So one of us will be taking sessions and go one feature every class, every session, and learn and end it promptly an hour, so that you'll have your life. I know you have work tomorrow and all that stuff. Okay, going forward, we'll strictly will go like 1 hour kind of. That way you won't be delay for your, for tomorrow and all. Okay, thank you, ThinkSabians, once again. Let's believe in the process. Let's try to learn and go from here. And thank you again, everybody.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you, Sai. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhanu, for taking care of it.